This presentation is going to talk about ways to get the best long-term care insurance for the lowest cost. You're not alone in that quest, but most people aren't armed with the information to accomplish that. I'm going to share a few must-dos. My name is Jesse Sloan. I'm the Executive Director of the American Association for Long-Term Care Insurance. We're an educational advocacy group. I've been doing long-term care insurance education since the late 1980s. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of mistaken information that you're going to find in articles and online. They just don't do the topic justice. So I'm going to just focus on a few must-dos and must-knows. The first must-know is that there are significant price differences between policies. They are not all alike. And if you compare really comparable benefits from Company A to Company B to Company C, you're going to find a vast difference. They could be double between one company and the next for virtually the same amount of coverage, and you're never going to know that unless you know how to get the best price for the lowest cost. And this really matters to you when you're buying it, because unlike other forms of insurance where you may buy coverage and the next year switch insurance carriers, the nature of long-term care insurance is that you never switch. Once you've picked a company, once you've applied and been health accepted, it almost never is advantageous to switch. So you have to do it right the first time. That puts a lot of pressure on consumers. There are also, one of the things that I believe you must know is that they're options. And unless you know what they are and how to ask for them, not all the companies offer some of these newer options that I think are very advantageous. So I'm going to talk about two. The future purchase option. A lot of people write and talk about the need to buy long-term care insurance when you're younger, in your 50s, young 60s, and there are a lot of reasons to do that. But often, agents take what I call a one-and-done approach or an off-the-shelf approach to buying this. They make a recommendation based on their own personal biases, not necessarily your choices and your available budget. There is an option today called the future purchase option. Not all the companies offer it, and each that does has a kind of different way of approaching it. But what this does is allows you to buy an affordable base of protection and periodically, at your discretion, review how much you own and do you want to change it. Now, if you increase the coverage, you'll pay more. But the benefit is once you've been accepted by the insurance company, you're guaranteed. You can buy those added benefits without having to health qualify again. That's very, very important in this day and age. The second option, again, not available from everybody, is what's called the shared care benefit. About 70% of the people who buy long-term care insurance are couples or partners. What this benefit allows you to do is it allows each spouse to buy a smaller amount of coverage. Less coverage for each of you is going to be cheaper. But you add this option, and that now combines the two policies. It gives you, consider a swimming pool. Your swimming pool is filled this much, his swimming pool is filled this much. If one of you needs care, you've got that full swimming pool to draw benefits from. Very significant benefit, very good way to buy less, more affordable coverage, and still have an awful lot of protection. In order to really get the best policy for the lowest cost, you need to shop around. The problem is most consumers really don't know what to look for. When I buy a car, I sit in the seats, I read Consumer Reports, but there is no Consumer Reports that really diligently compares. So your best advocate and your best option, I believe, is working with a knowledgeable long-term care insurance specialist. Here's how I define finding what a specialist is. There's someone who's been in the business selling long-term care insurance for at least 3, typically 5 years. It takes that long to really learn the nuances of these policies. You'll never know what provisions are in your contract until you've applied, paid your premium, and received your contract, which could be a 50-page document. And I hate to say it, looking straight at you, you're probably never going to read it. But that contract is going to determine what you get paid come benefit time. Your specialist will hopefully have read those contracts. Number 2, they need to have been selling a large number of these policies. They need to really focus on it. So I look and say, I would ask the agent, well, what percentage of your business is focused on long-term care insurance? How many policies do you sell a year? Most specialists will easily today do 100 policies a year. Often, some of them may be more. The third question is the most important in my mind. There's insurance industry jargon. The word is appointed. Appointed clearly or legally means that that agent can sell you that company's policy. I could run an illustration using software for any of the companies that offer long-term care insurance if I were an agent. But if I'm only appointed with company A, not the rest of the companies, guess which company I'm going to tell you is the best for you? Company A, because that's the one that I can earn a commission on. You should ask the agent or the broker how many companies they're appointed with. A good specialist today typically is going to be appointed with 3 to 5. That doesn't mean that you only talk to one agent. You're free and should talk to multiple ones, but that term appointed is very important. How do you find a specialist today? Well, obviously you can contact the American Association for Long-Term Care Insurance. That is one of the things that we do. We'll gladly connect you with a professional long-term care specialist who will, at no obligation and no cost, their job is to educate you. Their job is to compare policies for you. Their job is to tailor your coverage with what your budget is and what your particular needs are, and not force feed a solution down your throat. Go to our website, click on the request a no obligation quote, click on or call the office, and we'll gladly hook you up. And continue reading and continue learning. The association, I've written multiple guides that have appeared in Kiplinger's Personal Finance magazine. You can read them all online on the association's website. There's no sign-in information. We're not looking for your name or your email. You just click on the guide, you open it, and you read it. And I would encourage you, if you're between the mid-50s and the mid-60s, now is the time for you to start looking at your long-term care insurance planning and to see if long-term care insurance is an option for you. Thanks for watching this video. I wish you good shopping.